Labas vakaras, sveikinuosi su visais žiūrovais, klausytojais ir kitais nepriklausomai per kokį įrenginį mus esat pasijungę. Tikiuosi, kad arba girdit, arba matot. Tęsime mūsų Lietuvos šunų kinkinių sporto federacijos iniciatyvą GYVAI su, kurios metu kol kas kalbiname sportininkus ir diskutuojame apie įvairias skirtingas disciplinas. Jau turėjome diskusiją apie 4 šunų kinkinį, apie dviratininką ir šunį, apie bėgiką ir šunį, apie paspirtukininką ir šunį. Ir šiandien vėl turėsime diskusiją apie paspirtuką, tokią įdomią discipliną, tačiau šį kartą mūsų diskusija persikelia iš Lietuvos rėmų ir žengiam jau į šiek tiek tarptautinius vandenis ir kalbinsime Latvijų, sportininką iš Latvijos, Alens Zvilna, kuris yra 2019 metų tarptautinio šunų kinkinių sporto federacijos rengto pasaulio čempionato vicečempionas. Tai bet kuriuo metu, jeigu diskusijos metu turėsite kažkokių tai klausimų, tai tikrai galite juos užduoti, rašyti komentarus ir pasistengsim į visus klausimus atsakyti. Taigi nieko nelaukdamas pridedu Aleną, diskusiją, kaip ir minėjau, anglų kalba. So, hello, Alens.
Hi.
I just gave a short introduction to everyone how everything is going to work here, about your recent achievements in the World Championships and so on. That you are one of the top sportsmen here in the Baltic states.
Yeah. Recent, 2 years ago.
Well, 2 years ago, yeah, but
it was the last championship.
Definitely, yes, because as everyone knows, championship in 2020 was cancelled due to the coronavirus situation. Yeah. So we will see how everything is going to work this year. So starting from the beginning, I was checking on the photos and I was calculating for how many years are you involved into the sport, but I didn't find the proper answer. So can you give a brief introduction about yourself, how you get involved into the sports, the Sleddog sport, and for how many years are you in it?
So in sport, I would say around 8 or 9 years. But at the beginning, just handling, just watching, not participating myself, but doing all the stuff you have to do, taking dog from stakeout to helping others. But fun fact, 12 or 13 years ago, I didn't even know about this sport, but Edwards Grobinch was one of the few, 2 or 3 people, at least as far as I know, who offered sled dog rides in winter with 6-8 dog teams, Huskies at that time. And we were lucky enough that our family got a gift. I don't remember for what, but we had a gift to try it out. And like 13 years ago, it was our first time. Like, I wouldn't consider it as a sport, but just a fun day with family. We rode the sleds with, I think, a dog team. So that was my first experience, but at that moment I didn't know anything. I was just there to have fun, even though that at that time my fun was at football field or playing basketball with my friends, not doing winter activities in forest with dogs. But yes, so about 9 or 8 years ago, I started helping my friends in kennel who were training for Baltic Cup, for championships, maybe not the world, but still at that time it was big competition back then, and just helping, trying out. And one day one of the mushers wasn't able to come, so there was a free dog and the race was coming up, so the dog should be trained as well like the others. And since back then no one wanted to go twice, they said, okay, we'll give you a bike, just pedal and try to keep up. So I did, and I didn't keep up, even though I was physically fit. But I I think I was braking all the time. I was scared that the dog will hit in some tree, go around some trees, even though we didn't do any single tracks, but still I was nervous. And so, yeah, at the finish line, they said, so where did you go? I said, well, I followed you, but you were too fast. And I think at that moment, I understood that, okay, we have to train with this. We have to train with the dogs. And I asked, maybe I can, start training with you can give me some of the dogs at the beginning, slower dogs. I can train them, I can learn, and then we'll see where we'll go from there.
So in the beginning, you were like borrowing dogs, not having
yes.
a one yourself. Okay, but now you have your own dog.
I have my first dog.
Your first dog.
And my first dog that I consider, yes.
Okay.
And
how old is the dog?
5.5 years, some plus and minus some days or months, but yeah, 5 years since I really started to learn from the others, from the champions, and meet other people.
Okay.
In different countries.
So let's say that you are somewhat 8 or something years around since you first get in touch with the Sleddog sport and start to participate in years. So for this many years, 8 years is a lot, and I believe that you have participated in many races. Yeah.
Yes.
As I was introducing you, I told that you have a silver medal from the last championship, which was in 2019. But which medal is the most important for you? Is it the same from the World Championship or somewhat else? And which race or races was the most memorable for you?
I think it's the same medal from Nibro 2019 because that's my highest achievement, and I'm really proud of it. Even though I still don't understand how I managed to pull this off, but
you were training hard.
maybe, or I was just training my dog well. So yeah, I think from the memories, that's my greatest achievement, and I think that's the highest achievement, and I will always carry that pride with me. Regards other races, I think all the championships were nice. In 2017 Poland, the Mudfest, it was like we can't just forget about it. My first championship, I didn't participate, but my dog did in 2016 in UK. I don't remember the place. I was there just to handle my dog, but still it was fun for me. Just to enjoy the next level, because from Latvia, I think that was the first championships we went from our country, and it was a new experience. It's the same with 2018 Nibro. I thought I was training really hard and I was in a good shape, but I wasn't. The results showed that, so I learned something from that. I mean, almost every race has something to offer. Regards the memories, maybe some technical trails, maybe new friends, maybe interesting place. So in general, I would say all championships are in my memory. I remember each and every one of them.
Briefly, you touched the topic of the training, and that was also one of the questions I wanted to ask. In the autumn or in the spring period, how does your training look like? And what type of trainings do you do? Do you train yourself or your dog more? So tell us everything about the training, because I believe that everyone who is watching wants to know how to become vice champion or even champion of the world.
So I don't have a plan, actually. I do everything by feel. So I can't tell you step by step. You have to feel it. But in general, you build the base for the dog, the core, and then you start putting some power, and towards the championship, you put some speed as well.
Mhm.
Speed comes like naturally, but and you put some speed and what's the name? Conditioning. So the
Okay.
dog can run 2 times, 5K or 4K, depends on the trail, 2 days in a row, full speed.
Mhm.
Conditioning. So base, strength, conditioning.
Okay. And
That's for the dog.
for yourself?
Basically the same, only I try to do more strength and more cardio stuff, because to go full speed for 10 minutes, you have to have a lot of cardio.
Yes.
I don't do any, I do some, but not so much strength training. I don't go to gym that much. I don't do any weightlifting. It's mostly cardio.
Okay.
But for the dog, yeah, so I would say for the dog, the strength is that I focused more in the past few years.
Okay, and what type of trainings do you do for strength? Just driving longer distance with a shorter speed, or something else with a slower speed?
If the dog feels really good and it's really happy to have a training, then we probably go on single tracks and do slower speed, but a lot of uphills and some downhills, turns, some harder trails. If it's, but like one or two trainings a week, like that. If it's more, if we are more people in the training, we usually combine some stuff like strength training with overtaking. So we choose wider, flatter trails. We still don't go full speed. We brake a little bit, but in the middle of the trail, we switch all the time. We try to overtake, non-stop overtaking.
Okay.
So it's fun for the dog. Like the single tracks is fun for the dog, but when you're running in the, like they think they run in a team when overtaking. So we just overtake all the time, non-stop overtaking. And because of this, they are enjoying it more, and they're pulling harder and harder. And since we're braking a little bit as well, it's kind of power training. It's not like 100% power, but it still does the job.
Okay. And what is your position and opinion about the speed? Because previously, as I was speaking with Indre and Agne and Thomas, everyone is on the same page, and everyone is telling that during the trainings, you do not have to go full speed, that you have to brake. And if you want to go full speed, you just have to release it a few hundred meters before the finish line during the trainings. And you just have to go full speed during the competition.
Well, I start to see that they might be wrong, because I'm learning from them as well.
Okay.
Looking how they're training and seeing that they have great results as well. I would say, looking back on 2019, basically that is what I did. I didn't plan it, but basically a lot of strength training and near the competition speed training.
Okay.
Although sometimes like when we're doing some overtaking stuff, you have to have some speed. So it's not like, for example, for me, it's not like strength, speed. We mix it. Like sometimes we do faster, sometimes slower, sometimes we do more joyful rides. Sometimes if it's really short, 1K, sure, let's go fast.
Okay.
So the dog doesn't get like this feeling that he has to work really hard every time, because the muscles get tired, and maybe for some dog it's mentally hard to pull all the time. Some smaller dogs, like they know, I have to pull again, it's hard and harder. So sometimes we just let the brakes off, of course. Usually, if you let just the brakes often it's above 30. So it's like speed.
Okay.
Sometimes you have to add a little bit more.
And as for training for yourself, you mentioned about the cardio. What type of cardio do you do? Do you run or do you drive with a scooter alone without dog, biking, any other type of cardio?
So for base training, I like to do dog is running freely, and I'm doing the scooter, 10K. Okay. It doesn't matter how long. I can do stops. I can rest. Because we live near the sea, I let her to cool down a little bit, continue. I rest if it's hard trail, but usually I pick some easier ones. So my average is around 15 to 20.
Okay.
A lot of that serves two purposes. I get my base, and the dog gets hers. Then a lot of biking, because I kind of don't like scootering on my own. It's fun with a dog, but without dog, it's especially hard. If you're alone, it's hard. If there's no one to push you and talk to you, it's hard. So usually it's a lot of biking, and near competition, I like to do running.
Okay.
But like I wouldn't say high intensity interval running, but getting there.
Okay.
Like usually I run like 3K, 5K, not more. More is too much for my joints, and I'm too old for that. So I do a lot of biking.
Let's say you are too old for running and you just only do biking. And one more question about scootering. Do you have like your own secret? Because in some videos we can see advices from other sportsmen. They were giving that you have to do 5 kicks with one leg, 5 kicks with another leg, changing legs. What is your opinion about that? In general, are you changing the legs during the kicking on the scooter, or do you use only one leg?
So we talked about this in our camp, where we explained to everyone that it depends on yourself. For example, for me, if it's flat, I count to myself, I think 4 kicks or 5 kicks with one leg, switch 5 kicks with other, because I get into the rhythm and my brain adjusts and my heart rate adjusts. So it's not chaotic. It's really like flat. My heart rate stays the same all the time. It's not jumping up, down, if I do 2, 1, 3, 5, 4. So I try to keep it as even as possible, because the legs get tired, and it's like it would be weird if in the finish line one leg wouldn't work. The second one was fresh. But in general, it depends on the trail. If it's a lot of turns, then like the counting doesn't work, because when the turn is coming, you have to prepare for going into the turn, so you have to switch the right leg. At that moment, you just flow with the trail. So it basically doesn't matter how many kicks you do. It's usually I would say 5 at least, because switching the legs, it takes time. And if you switch all the time, it takes a lot of time. And you lose some seconds on switching and losing some power, and dog gets more tired after a while. So I would say at least 5, but really it depends.
Okay. And you were speaking about taking turns. So we can see in some pictures that some of the sportsmen, while taking the turn, are just simply standing on the scooter with both legs on the scooter pedal, while others are lifting one of the leg depending on the turn which they are taking into. How do you do, and how do you manage to successfully and fastly take turns?
So because like I'm kind of aggressive driver, and I'm not scared of going fast into corners, I like to put one leg outside, like in motocross.
Yeah.
And sometimes if I feel the speed is too low, I even kick in the turns.
Okay.
because I don't have a big dog. My dog is like 27 kilos, and she's not so strong like other dogs, males. That's 34. So I just can't be relaxing on the scooter, and every kick is valuable to me. So I let the leg out, go into corners, and because my leg is already out, I am already ready to kick. So I gain maybe half a second on every turn. But it depends on the turn. If I'm going 35 kilometers per hour, then yeah, sure, I will stand and be as aerodynamic as possible. But generally, I will try to kick. If it's possible, if it's really sharp turn, then I will try to kick in the turns as well, especially in competitions. In trainings, no. In trainings, we just chill and relax and have fun. But in like, you have to be working all the time in competitions if you want to succeed. It doesn't matter you place first or second, but the feeling that you gave all is the best feeling you can have. The placement, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, well, if it is a world championship, I guess that the place does matter.
Oh, yeah, of course, but you can tell that to yourself to get your nerves down a little bit. It doesn't matter. Like, it's just a training. You're just trying extra hard.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good how to say view for the sport. So basically, we were speaking right now only about the scooter, and that you for yourself you are doing biking. But in this Sleddog sport, have you tried another disciplines besides scooter, one dog, and which ones do you enjoy?
So I've tried bike joring, but only in few races. Scooter is my main discipline. In trainings, I have done some canicross, but never raced, and probably will never do it again.
Why?
It's just too painful for my legs, and for the next week I can't walk, and I'm really stiff. It's just I feel like you're just destroying your body, and for me, no. I did want to participate in one race in canicross in Zalie Gurti, green cucumbers, beginners race, because I never did it. 1 week before it on Saturday, so 1 week before on the Saturday, I did the trail with my dog, canicross, I'd say 80% speed, until the next, on the race day, I was so stiff and sore. I said, no, I'm not going. So I just, okay, I'm not going, and that's it. So I did that. In winter, I did two dog team on sleds. But and that's in racing. But if we count every discipline I did without in training, so I basically did all of them, I think.
Okay.
From 8, I think 12 dog sleds, 8 dog, 6 dog, 4 dog, 2 dog, ski joring, bike joring, 4 dog bike joring, 2 dog bike joring. I've tried basically everything.
4 dog bike joring is crazy, I think. And also, you mentioned that you tried some disciplines on snow. So on snow or dry land, which one do you enjoy more?
I would say on snow, but if it's not ski joring, because I don't know how to do it good.
Okay.
No, it's fun. I can do it in like medium average speed, but to compete, no. But I would say on snow, and especially 4 dog team. I think that's the most fun you can get from this sport.
Let's talk about the equipment in this sport. So as you are racing in a scooter, so basically you need to have a scooter, a leash for your dog, a bungee line, and harness for your dog. What is your suggestions on the topic of how to choose a proper scooter, and do you have your favorite brand?
Well, it depends. For durability, I would recommend dog stuff. Just for pure durability. It's heavy. Some people race with it. For me, I think every kilogram is really important in race, and especially I'm on the heavy side in general compared to other competitors. So those extra weight, for me, it's important. But in scooter brands, if it got like 29 and 26 wheel size, I don't think it matters much. It depends what can you get and for what price. If it's a good price for you, sure, it doesn't matter. Bulla, Tracer, Dog Store, basically it doesn't matter. For lines, there are some bad ones, some good ones, but in general, you should like change your equipment, maybe not every year, but every second year if it's possible. Because if you train a lot, the lines get used and the bungee isn't working as well. So in general, like for the harnesses as well, it depends on your dog. You can try zero, you can try non-stop. If you like the look, how it looks on the dog. Currently, I'm using from Pavel Pfeiffer. You probably know Indra has the blue harnesses.
Yeah.
And I've used it for a year now, and my dog really likes it. Maybe even better than the Zero DC.
Okay.
But I can't compare. No races now, so it's hard to say.
So, but in general, you just have to look for your dog how it feels during the training.
For harnesses, yes. For lines, you just check it. Maybe you like a slightly longer line, shorter. What color, of course, that's really important to fit your outfit. And just look what other competitors use, because you can go and ask them, can I test this one? Can you show me if it works well? And if a lot of competitors are using, like, for example, non-stop, then it's good probably.
Yeah. Accidents may sometimes happen. Have you ever felt from scooter during the race or during the competitions or trainings?
I remember one instant where I fell from a scooter, and I remember, wow, that's the first time I fell from a scooter. And I don't remember the second one. Probably, yes, I've probably fallen, but nothing serious, maybe in some sand. It was too sandy, and I just lost control of my handlebar. No injuries from scooter. I think it's one of the safest ways to fall. Or if you're feeling that you're going to fall, just let go and you're off the scooter. There's no pedals you are clipped in, for example, for bike journeying. So with scooter, I don't think I've fallen that much, maybe once or twice, and definitely not in the race, I would say. I can't remember falling in the race. But I've fallen with bike more than a few times.
But no serious accidents?
No, nothing. It's really safe sport.
We can discuss it about safety a bit later because I think that both you and me have some examples how people got injured during the race or the trainings. As for example, I remember one race. Barbara Wirtz, a lady from the Switzerland, was racing with her 4-dog team, I believe, and she didn't manage to take a proper turn, and she broke both her hands. So accidents may happen.
I think a few years ago, in Russia, I think Alena did the side flip on the cart in the turn, I think.
Yeah.
She was turning, but I think she was okay, but still.
Yeah, but still flipping with the cart sounds scary and dangerous. Let's reach the topic about the dog's nutrition. What do you feed for your dog, and how does your dog nutrition look like? Do you give just a dry food, meat, any supplements, etc.?
For the longest time, I've been giving dry food.
Mm-hmm.
Then last year, I was introduced with raw food.
Mm-hmm.
But because of the pandemic, I wasn't able to go to my supplier and get the food, so I went back to the dry food. And during the race season, I used some vitamins for some joints. I don't know how to call it in English. It's glucosamine, some tablets that help with the joints, help with the muscles.
Yeah.
And it's helping my dog a lot because I had some problems with her, with her leg, front leg and rear leg. And after those full course of vitamins, she's back on track after 2 or 3 months usually.
Okay.
So you dry food, but I'm looking forward to switching to raw food.
Okay, because usually many people in this sport are feeding the dogs with like mixed food. They giving both raw and dry food. They are combining these two options.
Yeah, I heard some bad things about it, that it's not maybe good for the dog.
Uh-huh.
You mean raw food or that ready food in the cans?
Raw food.
Raw food. Okay, so I think the latest news are that's maybe not the best idea.
Uh-huh.
You do one or other, but I'm not an expert. I don't know. Don't quote me on that. But I stick to what works for me. For me, it's really easy with dry food, but maybe to gain some extra percentage, maybe some dog will be stronger, healthier. It's worth thinking about going raw food.
Yeah, I believe so. This is what you mentioned is the most important, just to look for what's the best for your dog and what works best. Getting back into the scooter and races and trainings, what was the biggest average speed you have ever reached, either during the trainings or during the races? And on what
for trainings, I'm maybe 35 on flat, really flat, hard trail, and it was 3 kilometers long, I think.
Okay.
And in the race this year in May, we had a night race. I participated with my dog with my new bike, and on 4 kilometers I had 33 average, but the last K was kind of hard for me because I wasn't training for the bike journey. I was training for scooter, and my dog wasn't ready enough. So I could probably do the same trail 34, 35. But the fastest that's on record is 33.
Okay. So
some sandy, some hard, flat trail.
We have a few questions from the audience, so I think that I will put it on the screen so you will see it also. So Thomas is asking, how many hours do you work out per week?
It depends on the week. If I'm really trying to train for something, then I would say at least 10. At least. If I'm really training. But for some weeks I train 0 hours. I have rest weeks as well, but in general I would say at least 6. It's running, it's biking, it's dog training, it's all combined. I would say at least 6 hours.
So the average would be from 6 to 10 hours per week of working out.
Yes, around that. Sometimes I've done even more, but it's too extreme to maintain for a long period.
Okay.
So usually.
The next question is about the sport in general. What does it mean for you to be involved in the sport, and what's the biggest and most important lesson that you have ever learned while being in the sport?
So about the lesson, I don't think I've got the lesson.
Mm-hmm.
I've learned a lot of stuff, but I don't know if I did something wrong.
Not yet.
Not yet. That I had like, oh wait, okay, this is not good. I don't know. Just do what you like to do. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you don't like to do it, you won't be successful. You can be, but in general, you have to work harder. But if you love it, then it will come naturally from the heart, and it will be easier to go outside when it's -10 and do running with or without dog, or when it's raining and there's championship coming and every training counts, and you have to go out and you have to do those 5K.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if it's raining or snowing. Sometimes you have to run, especially towards the winter. Sometimes there are some minuses here and there, and it's really slippery, and you have to go. I don't know. The lesson is don't be shy, maybe, and go and talk to other mushers.
Yeah,
I've learned that. I think that's the one thing I really learned, that there's no superhero. Everyone is a regular person, and you can go and talk to him or her. It doesn't matter. Usually they will be really happy to answer all your questions if they have time. Of course, don't go before the start and say, what do you think about this? No. After the finish, at the musher dinner, or after they done everything they had to do after start, go and talk to them, and you'll learn a lot, like really a lot. And maybe you get invited to one camp, you go in to stay with them, and you learn. There's possibilities you can get dog from them.
Mm-hmm.
And stuff like that. I think that's the biggest thing I've gained from this sport. And the first part of the question was about what it means to me.
Yeah, what does the sport mean to you?
Now it means everything, because I have adapted my whole life to this sport, and I missed so many opportunities. I missed so many job offers. I missed a lot of fun times with my friends, because I really wanted to be involved in this sport. So I would say everything.
Mm-hmm.
And it's now to get out of it, I think it's really impossible, because all the friends I've gained, all the memories from all championships, all races, from all the camps, and you can't get rid of your dog so easily.
Yeah. So once you are into the sport, once you are into the sport, there's no way back.
Yeah, there's no way back, because for me, I want to be the best owner for my dog as I can. And if I'm not taking my dog out and racing, and because she loves really racing, and she's really happy when there's a lot of people, big noises, a lot of dogs, she gets really excited. And for me to take that out of her life is like, no, I will probably not go to some parties rather than go on some trainings with my friends. And it's just, I don't know, I'm really happy to be here where I am now. Yeah, it's not easy, and you have to sacrifice a lot of things, but I think it's worth it. At the end of the day, it's really, really worth it.
Yeah, but it's a really nice idea what you mentioned, to be the best owner for your dog as possible.
Yeah, well, not everyone has this mentality, but for me, it is. Like,
yeah,
if my dog is happy, I am happy. And you can really sometimes see that if something happens to my dog, I'm really upset, and people around are like, are you okay? Are you okay? So you feel sick, or something hurts to you? It's like, no, my dog is have some problems with her leg at home. And some people doesn't understand that it's not about you, it's about making others feel good. And for me, it's feeling my dog good. It's everything. So,
and what you mentioned about that, the lesson, what you learned is to not to be shy to speak with others who are involved in the sport is in general, for I guess many times we were speaking with other mushers that the Sleddog sport community in general is really friendly and open, and everyone is sharing their experience. So it's really important not to be afraid to go and ask if you want to collect some advices and to gain more experience.
Really good community. And even if you ask someone to show their training plan, even if it's your competitor, they will show you. So because at the end of the day, who works the harder and smarter will win. So it doesn't matter if I use his training methods or he uses mine. The result will be how much effort you will put in it. So so I really encourage everyone to go and just speak to your idols, because a few years ago Igor Trach was superstar, and I will never meet him, and imagine just one day I will shake his hand, and that feeling when you see some people on TV, and then the day comes and you are at his camp and he's like a regular guy telling you everything he knows, and you're just having a blast and learning from him, and you just, wow, really just like me, only more popular.
And with a bit, and he has got a bit more of medals from the World Championships, but there's still many years ahead. You were mentioning Sleddog sport camps, which in general are called experience exchange camps or something like that. Last week, the one was in Latvia. Could you give a brief introduction what those camps are about and who can come to those camps? Only those who already are involved in the Sleddog sport, or those who are total beginners in the sport, or is it open to everyone?
Basically, it's open to everyone. If you want, you can come. Of course, you have to ask first, and then we can arrange. If you're interested only in some seminars about bike techniques or scooter techniques or just dog training techniques, we can arrange some exact time, and then we can adapt to you. But usually everyone is welcome. It's about changing our experience for the last year or two. Our training methods, maybe we train a little bit differently. We switched from dry food to raw food. What changed? Maybe you want to try it. I'm just sharing all the experience we have. In general, everyone's almost, I wouldn't say almost doing the same thing, but slightly different. So we just come here and just talk and do some trainings, teach each other. For example, last week, we did some more biking for beginners, absolute beginners, some uphill, some single tracks, how to keep your balance on the bike. It's really sounds too easy, but going uphill and on slow speed, it really changes your perspective, how you should think about each and every section of the trail. We did that. Some scooter techniques on asphalt, on forest, in sand, what's better, what's some options. And so everyone just sharing their experience and having fun. It's not like we are strict and we do everything by the book. No, we can adapt. If it's someone wants to do this, sure, we can do this. Someone wants to do canicross, we can adapt and let them go by themselves. Because we don't do canicross.
You don't do canicross. I do canicross.
Yeah,
Okay. One more question from the audience. So Thomas is asking again, are more people interested in the sport after winning silver in 2019? I think that he's speaking about are more people interested in Latvia in the sport after winning silver, but maybe if he is listening, he will make some corrections on this question.
Well, there's some publicity, of course. After winning the silver medal, I got invited into 2 radio stations. We did some videos. So people thought, okay, maybe this is what our dog likes. He's really active. I think maybe, but mostly I think people who are in the sport started to think, maybe I should go on the championships. Maybe I can win some medals. Encourage others, because, for example, in Latvia, we think, Czechs will win, Czechs will get the podium, Norways will get the podium, and Igor will get the podium. So what's the point of me competing? But some guy from Latvia managed to get the podium as well with the others. So I think it encouraged some other mushers to, pay attention, how to train. But in general, there are more people coming into this sport. A lot of canicrossers, not so much on scooters because of the cost for the scooter, and it's easy to just buy canicross equipment at the beginning. But I would say most of them, after doing canicross for some time, they want to switch to bike or scooter. It's easier for you, for your joints, for your health, I think. And and
you at least you can rest a bit while being on bike or on scooter. And how is the Sleddog sport in Latvia in general? Is it gaining popularity, or is it stuck at the same level as it was
it's slightly gaining. There's some small races that people are coming more and more. I think we should do some extra marketing, not selling them, but encouraging other people to just take your dog. It doesn't matter what dog you have, just try it out. Come to our local races where, for example, I don't compete, and I try not to compete, because for beginners, what's the point coming to a race that there is 1 or 2 guys that will win? So we try to encourage everyone. If someone needs, we can sometimes we give our own dogs if they don't have them. They're really good, and we see that they can handle it. Yes, and I say slowly, but it's rising. Maybe in few years we'll be bigger and bigger, and then we have our own huge national championships. Inside our country.
I think the same is with Lithuania also, that in general, we Lithuanians, you Latvians and Estonians as Baltic countries have to change the people's mentality, because everyone, when you are talking about Sleddog sport, everyone in general thinks that you have to have at least 4 or 6 dogs to be able to take part in this sport. But no, you only need 1 dog to participate, to run canicross, do scooter, or do biking. So as our discussion is coming to an end, what will be your advice for beginners who are thinking about getting in the sport, but do not take that final step and do not come to trainings or to race?
First, I probably will just come and watch. Maybe get out of your bed and come and just watch for the first time. If it looks something interesting or you might like it, come to the next training and try it yourself. We are open. We have people who has more dogs than they can train, so there's a possibility for us to offer you some dog. if you don't have your own yet. But if you have, just come and try it. Maybe your dog will like it and you'll be the next competitor for the World Championships in 2020, but just come and watch. No one is forcing you. It's really simple. Take the 20-minute drive, or it's sometimes even less if you live near us. Sometimes we go to the different cities and do our own trainings, and people who live like further away, we can manage that as well. Just try it.
Yeah, and don't be shy. Don't be shy to speak with those who has more experience in the sport. So thank you, Alens, for sharing your experience, for telling stories on how to become a successful sportsman, and that everyone should keep on the idea to be as better person, owner for your dog as possible. I really like this idea, so I will write it down as a summary of our discussion. So thank you once again. Everyone who did not manage to watch us live, they will be able to listen or to watch this discussion in our federation's Facebook or YouTube channel. So it will be in the internet for as many years ahead.
So people who are watching and saw this, we'll have some maybe training camp in Lithuania in 3 weeks, or it's for 3 weeks, right? I think 3 or 4 weeks.
Yeah, at the end of July.
Yes. So everyone who is interested, just maybe watching and seeing, we can arrange that. You can write Paulius and he will tell you the details.
Yeah.
Or if you are a well-known competitor, then come and join us. We will have at least for a 1 day. I know you will probably join us for some trainings, maybe.
Yes, for sure. So thank you everyone for listening, for watching. Thank you, Alens, once again for speaking with us. And bye-bye. That's it.
Yep.